Elite Facts presents
8 celebrities who are legitimately insane.
8.
Nicolas Cage. We start our list off with one of the most obvious examples that Hollywood has to offer. He is legitimately the poster boy for insanity. Nicolas Cage. This guy simply doesn't care. Like, there's technically nothing wrong with him in terms of mental illness, but his on-screen and behind-the-scene antics would probably make you think otherwise. When it comes to his films, he either sleepwalks his way through them by giving the most half-assed yet hilarious performances, or he'll just go all out and give the craziest over-the-top performance he can possibly give. Just look at him in Face Off and those awful yet hilarious Ghost Rider films. He's a living, breathing cartoon character. What about behind the scenes, though? Oh, well, did you know that Nicolas Cage used to have a pet octopus that he claimed helped him with his acting? As for his personal life, he likes to purchase rare dinosaur skulls in his downtime, which to some isn't as big of a deal as archaeology is. He has a pyramid prepared for his body to rest in after his death, which, to be fair, is kind of badass. He has had more than a couple of classic sloppy drunk embarrassments, and he only eats animals that he feels have dignified sex. So pigs are out, I guess. Then there's his youngest son, named after Superman. That's right, Kal-El Cage. Marvel and DC connected.
7.
Christopher Walken. If Nicolas Cage is the poster boy for insanity, then Christopher Walken is the freaking Pope of insanity. Christopher Walken is always going to be perceived as a strange guy because he's earned a reputation for playing strange characters. He is, without a doubt, one of the best character actors of our time. But we say you're tripping if you think a guy that's made a career out of playing weirdos isn't drawing from somewhere within himself each time he does. So what's Walken's crazy character trait? Well, for starters, Walken has quite the obsession when it comes to cats. The actor has been known to share with others his feline fascination, particularly the tail. He's even waxed poetic about the myriad of expressions cats can convey simply through their tail, and how cool and game-changing it would be if actors had one as well. Hey, we're just throwing this idea out there, but if Christoph Waltz doesn't return to the Bond series as Blofeld, and we hope he does because he plays the role well, we say give the role to Walken. The guy's crazy and loves cats. He's more than qualified for that role.
6.
Lindsay Lohan. Poor Lindsay Lohan. She had her whole career ahead of her. Lindsay Lohan started her professional life as a gifted child actress and then as a singer. Unfortunately, as it happens with many young stars, Lohan wasn't able to take the pressures of stardom. After being introduced to partying, underage drinking, and even drug use by her own mother, Dina Lohan, Lindsay went off the rails with her constant partying and substance abuse. She's been under arrest many times and has been fired from movies for not being dependable. All in all, she has undergone 250 days of rehab since 2007. She's faced 20 court cases before 4 judges, and she's performed about 70 days of community service. To make a long story short, as soon as she discovered drugs and alcohol, she pretty much went wild.
5.
Gary Busey. Just by looking at him, you can tell he's not mentally stable. Don't get us wrong, we love Gary Busey. When you see him in interviews, he seems like a pretty down-to-earth guy at first, but that first impression wears off pretty quick once he opens that creepy wide mouth of his. There are things that come out of it that are crazier than imaginable. At any given moment, he can start spouting all this metaphysical nonsense, quantum theory, spiritual musings, or wacky anecdotes about how he used to rail lines of coke off of his dog like a boss. Is Gary Busey a misunderstood savant, the victim of a tragic loss of inhibition thanks to head injuries sustained from his infamous 1988 motorcycle crash? Or is he simply yet another cautionary tale of the dangers of substance abuse? With the kind of shit Gary talks, it's probably all three, and then some.
4.
Mel Gibson. Well, he wasn't cast as Mad Max for nothing, that's for sure. Yes, Mel Gibson is nothing short of batshit crazy. His wild antics began way back in 1991 during an interview that suggested homophobia, all the way down to his notorious phone call rant to girlfriend Oksana Grigorieva, where he randomly posits a scenario of her getting raped by, well, let's not get into repeating it here, but the statement included a horrible racial slur, so you get the picture. Let's also not forget the time in 2006 when he was pulled over for driving under the influence. When apprehended by the authorities, he reportedly complained that the, quote, fucking Jews are responsible for all the wars in the world. Yeah, he pretty much buried his career under a pile of sugar tits the second he said that. He hasn't had many major roles since.
3,
Courtney Love. Let's be honest, her brain is absolutely fried. All the drug and substance abuse has, without a doubt, taken a toll on her mental health. There really isn't anything nuts that Kurt Cobain's once true love hasn't done. She completed the celebrity nut job rite of passage by going on Letterman and losing her mind and her top for all of late-night TV audience to behold. She's gone on incoherent, rambling rants on all the major social media platforms. She railed at flight attendants for no real reason at all, and she had an onstage meltdown at a concert when a fan held up a picture of Kurt. Let us not forget that she is indeed a prime suspect when it comes to the death of her husband, Kurt Cobain. And hey, considering that was the peak of how hopped up she was on drugs, then she honestly can't blame anyone for thinking she might be the culprit. To put it into perspective, she's pretty much the female equivalent of Charlie Sheen when it comes to drug abuse and mental health. Only difference is that Charlie Sheen isn't a suspect in a potential murder case. Yet.
2,
Charlie Sheen. Speaking of Charlie Sheen, yes, you honestly didn't think we were going to leave the king of all meltdowns off of this list, did you? Now, since the last time we talked about Sheen's tiger blood-fueled meltdowns, it's recently been made public that he is, in fact, infected with the AIDS virus, and it's been said that this has contributed to Sheen's mental health deteriorating. Now, his outbursts from the past have been hilarious, but this development regarding his health pretty much changes everything, as it is understandable that his mind would be all over the place after receiving life-changing news like that. Not to mention all the drugs he's taken over his life must have, without a doubt, taken its toll on his mental health as a whole. It must be said, however, that he has definitely improved. And while we're having a bit of cheeky fun with this list, we hope the best for his future, along with all the other people on this list, of course.
1,
Kanye West. Okay, so we all know Kanye is a jerk. He's had so many public outbursts and onstage antics that we're at the point where we just have no idea what to expect from him anymore. We actually made a video dedicated to the wacky adventures of Kanye West not so long ago, and you can view it here on our channel. Recently, however, it's been anything but funny. On November 20th, 2016, while performing in concert, Kanye really started showing signs of paranoia, rambling on about how he believed that Jay-Z had hired hitmen to kill him during one of his live shows. Kanye ended the show abruptly as he rushed off stage saying, quote, "Jay-Z, call me, bruh. You still ain't called me. Jay-Z, I know you got killers. Please don't send them at my head. Please call me. Talk to me like a man." Well, soon after, he was committed for psychiatric help. During his evaluation, it was said that West was suffering from dehydration, sleep deprivation, and depression, stating that he was depressed due to the recent incident in Paris in which his wife, Kim Kardashian, was robbed at gunpoint, as well as the fact that it was getting close to the anniversary of his mother's death. Let's also add the fact that there are recent rumors of West and Kardashian filing for divorce, with Kardashian wanting full custody of both of their kids. Say what you want about Kanye, but this year has really taken its toll on him.
Don't forget to like us and subscribe for more Elite Facts.